Good morning, everybody. It's Brian Offenberger from Aftermarketer Club. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about trade show marketing for higher ROI, and what I'm going to do is give you tips primarily from the point of view of an exhibitor. So if you're going to be having booths at any of the major industry trade shows, I know lots of you, absolutely lots of you right now are out getting ready. You're preparing your marketing, all that kind of good stuff. You're getting ready for SEMA show, PRI, all sorts of different things that are coming up. So what we want to do is to get you equipped and ready for the show so that you have amongst your best years ever. Now, if you're an attendee to a show, please feel free to ask whatever things that you might like. You're going to learn as well, if you're an attendee, what kinds of things you can do to maximize your time and the quality of the information that you get at the show, the overall show experience. As always, I want to take care of a little housekeeping. It's our goal when you come to one of our webinars that you get your questions answered. There's a chat window that's available to you on our system. Please use that chat window. That chat window will give you the opportunity to ask us questions. We will be monitoring that throughout our discussion today. I, as always, want to get your questions answered for you. At the end of our discussion today, I'm going to give you contact information. If you need to email us or have any basic questions, we'd be happy to answer them for you. So, last but not least, we will be making a copy of this available to you. It will be posted on our blog. It will be on the blog tomorrow, the 16th of May, and we invite you to grab it because my goal is to get a lot of emails from you in December telling me what a successful trade show season you had. I want my holiday gift from all of you will be your email telling me what great trade show experiences you had in 2012. Now, I don't need to tell you show marketing has changed, and really the primary reason that we need to go about, what you see there on the old left-hand side approach versus the different ways that people consume information. And what really brought about this change, we'd go about getting traditional booth traffic, when we'd go about driving in a traditional means to get traffic to our booths at trade shows, we do a lot of public relations type activities, PR outreach to media, PR kits, things along that line. You see some examples of that right now, really candidly, still even in the SEMA Board of Directors elections that are going on right now. Voting's just opened up, and it's top of my mind. You're still seeing a lot of traditional outreach programs via direct mail, magazine advertising, press releases, and then, of course, you've seen a lot of paid advertising for booth traffic. You'll see it in SEMA News, and you'll see it in Hot Rod and Restoration, and a lot of industry trade publications where they're using paid advertising approaches to drive traffic by their booth. And I don't need to tell you, SEMA historically has been a place, as well as a lot of other auto industry shows, where you get celebrities there, you get the pretty girls, you get the bells and the whistles that go on, all designed to get that magical buyer to come into your booth and make you wealthy. Well, the world's changing a little bit. This thing called the Internet came along, and now the landscape's dramatically different. And primarily what's different is why people are coming into your booth in the first place. Now people have an opportunity to get information from you well in advance of the show. They can use search engines, and the search engines will be full of show and exhibitor information. They can find product information, things along that line. Blogs in this industry. Holy cow. I mean, you want to see all the advanced dialogue that's going to be coming out on blogs relating to industry shows? Who's going to be exhibiting, rumors of what products are going to be released, all sorts of advanced dialogue. There's more and more people that are putting it out, including my company. We have a blog. We publish things on that blog relating to different shows. So we then also have social networks. We now have the ability, I can get on LinkedIn and I can connect with someone and I can ask them, what do they think about your product even before I come to the show? I can ask them if they buy from you, what it's like. I can get reviews, recommendations, and I can engage in these online conversations All these things that we didn't deal with in the past when we had trade show exhibits. So these impacts that the internet's had on the buying experience is dramatically different. Buyers no longer need to come to a trade show to get product information. Okay? That used to be one of the big purposes. They don't need to do that anymore. And if you give them the ability to get information they're looking for and reasons to come see you at the booth, well, if you do that in advance, you're going to be much greater, have a lot of success in getting people coming by your booth that are serious about buying. You know, I'm not talking about the people that walk through your booth to see the latest UFC heavyweight champ, okay? You know, I've seen that there at SEMA as an example, where people will stand in line for an hour to get a driver's autograph or to see Chip Foose or somebody like that, and they walk in and out of that guy's booth. They aren't there to buy. They're there to get an autograph and boogie. And that's not what you want. You want people that are legitimate buyers coming in. And what we're going to share with you are ways you can leverage the internet and social media as well as traditional practices. Things like PR and all of that. We're going to show you how you can leverage some of that to your benefit for these upcoming shows. Trade show success today has 4 elements. Okay, and the internet and social media as well as mobile media really gives you the opportunity to do 3 of these 4 things either prior to or after the show. And you see them on the screen. We call them the big 4: connect, interact, meet, and nurture. And those are 4 elements that you need to have in mind for you to have success. What are you going to do to connect with your target audience prior to that show? How are you going to interact with them? Because those interactions prior to the show can be critical for who meets with you while you're at the show and what happens while you're there. And as we all know, one of the biggest failures of trade show marketing is what happens after the show. Companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on their trade show presence. They generate these things called leads. So they say. They give them to salespeople that either don't follow up on them, they have no method in place as a company to nurture these relationships, to convert them to customers. We're going to talk to you about how to do that as well, because these are critical elements to drive that profit line when you're at a trade show. Now, my statistics here are just a little bit old. I believe actually these numbers have actually increased. What you'll see there is what your peers are doing as they're incorporating this thing called social media. And what I'm going to be referring to: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, my SEMA, or any of the vertical market niches like automotive digital marketing for those of you that are NADA exhibitors. Find these vertical niches, these social media niches. And here's what your peer groups are saying. They're having lots of success using these social channels in driving their booth traffic. Now, you go to our blog, the largest builder of exhibits in the country or distributor of exhibits in the country is Skyline Exhibitions, and one of their senior executives has written a piece that is on our blog. I'm going to give you the address for it at the end of this presentation. On our blog, that you can get their tips for setting up your booth and optimizing your on-floor exhibit. They've got some great tips for you on how to go about doing that. What we're going to show you today is what you can do to connect, interact, meet, and nurture. So let's talk about these action steps. What do we want to do? First thing, and I'm telling you, I've worked with very large companies like Siemens, as well as small startups that are exhibiting at a show for the first time. And one of the more common mistakes that I see made is they don't define the outcomes that they're looking for prior to the show. Some of them fall into the trap of believing that people that come into their booth are potential customers. Some of them love conversations. I see people go to these major shows in our industry. They like to look at cars and they like to socialize.
it seems like making money may be secondary to them. If making money is a secondary purpose for you and going to these shows, that's great. This probably, though, is not a webinar for you. What we're going to talk about is making money, and the first thing you want to do is define what outcomes you want from that show. You want to use meaningful specifics. It's not, I want to develop potential new distributors. It's, I want to walk out of the show with 50 potential new distributors that we can work with to see about converting and bringing on board. Now, that's a meaningful specific versus a generality. So, specifically define what success, how you're going to measure it, and when. And I'm telling you, we had 2 clients last year all the way up to the SEMA show, and they were spending substantial dollars. We still could not get them to define what was success for the show. In fact, one, after spending buku dollars, said they were going to define how the show would be successful while they were on the airplane to attend the show. Let me tell you, gang, that's too late. Define what it is you want. In fact, you should be defining desired outcomes before you make a commitment to attend a show. That's either as an exhibitor or as an attendee. Attendees, if you're just going to a show, you better define what you want out of it. It's okay if all you want is a good time. That's fine. But be clear. Go to the show for a purpose, and you're going to find you're going to enhance the profit line of your business and improve your career. Now, after you've defined what your objectives are, make sure you clearly know who your target market is. Okay? If you are a regional seller, it does you no good to get traffic outside your geographic area. If you sell in North America, then obviously overseas traffic is not important to you. So you want to clearly identify who your target market is, the more you know about them. What we do is called persona profiling. We will actually identify the 3 or 4 or 5 different buyer types a company sells to. We'll attach a picture of a representative person within that buyer type, and we'll write down as much about that person as we can. Working with the client, that's called persona profiling. And what it does is it helps you really clarify who you're wanting to reach at these shows. So ID your target market, write it down, make sure everyone at the show knows who they are and how you need to interact with them. Not all people are created equal, different buyer types. You engage in different ways. Your third step, join existing conversations. There is lots of dialogue that's going on online about the shows that you're attending. It's occurring on Twitter. It's occurring on LinkedIn. It's occurring in Facebook. Some extent Google+. So these conversations are going on. The logos that you see there, Google Alerts and Social Mention, are 2 free tools that you can use that help you monitor online conversations. You go to Google Alerts, you set up keywords or key phrases, and anytime Google finds anything on the internet with those phrases or terms, depending on how you set it up, they'll send you a notification. And so if I see something online mentioning about Aftermarketer Club, I'm notified, I can interact with that person, I can engage them. So I want to join, I want to pay attention to existing conversations that are going on. If I'm going to SEMA, as an example, okay, you can tell I have SEMA on the brain right now. I just did my election ballot earlier this morning. So if I'm going there, I want to set up, I want to find out what people are talking about. What's the buzz? What's the events? What's happening? There's lots of that going on, lots. I want to make a shameless plug for my blog. A little bit later, sometime in July, we're going to be publishing the list of the most active individuals in our industries, okay? Both on the dealership side, on the retail segment of the industry, manufacturing, and distribution. We're going to identify the most influential online people, the people that are on Twitter all the time, that are interacting on Facebook. We're going to identify those people for you so you have an opportunity to begin to interact with them. Joining these existing conversations is absolutely critical. Now, next, you need to determine what social channels you're going to listen to and interact with and which ones you're going to use. And here's my belief for you. My belief is to use the channels that you can support correctly. It's better to do a few well than it is to try to do every one. Now, the ones that are most active for you for most trade shows are going to be Twitter, Facebook, and the vertical, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and any vertical market social networks like MySEMA. Now, the other channels, YouTube, could be very, very helpful for you depending on what you do, putting up videos, all this kind of thing. And I'm even going to show you ways you can use Pinterest. Yeah, I know. I'm going to show you, though. I'm going to show you ways you can use Pinterest to help you in your trade show efforts. Let's kind of dive into that and talk about that a little bit. First, make sure that you own all of your social profiles, your business name and all of your social profiles. Make sure you own them. There's an easy place you can go and check. It's listed right here, namecheck.com. You see it there. You can complete using keywords. You customize it where possible. But what you want to do is to make sure you own your names on all the social channels, whether you're going to use them or not. So name check right there that you see is a nice, easy tool for you to do that. Next, claim your social profiles, and the next thing I'd like you to do is to make a plan. Okay? I have a Facebook page. What am I going to put on it? And this is the biggest thing that companies make mistakes with. They get on Facebook, and they hear all these stories that Facebook has 900 million users. So they build a Facebook page, and they have nothing to put on it of value. There's no reason for a person to pay attention to it. So what happens? No one does. What do they say? What does a business owner say? Hey, no one pays attention to this stuff on Facebook. This doesn't work. Gang, that's not true. This is like when you go on Facebook as an example, that's like opening a retail store. There may be, I don't know, 2 billion plus people in China. But just because you open a store in China doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy. You have to do something to get people to come to your store. So you're getting ready to go to this show, and I'm going to be giving you some specific content things that you need to be offering your audiences prior to shows so you can engage them. I'm going to show you in a minute how to find them. I'm going to show you how to engage them and be involved with them prior to the show. But you need to have a plan. What are you going to do? And what you see here is a basic plan, a very basic plan, a very aggressive one. You know, these people publishing videos every day, these people publishing a new blog posting every day. There's a lot of things you can do. The thing is not to do everything. It's to do whatever you can and do it well. And it's like anything else, gang. And I know I'm going to throw out a cliche, and I'm preaching to the choir here, but a lot of us violate this. We don't have a plan. We hop in the car. We're sitting in L.A. We say, hey, we want to get to New York City, and we just drive. It's like we don't look at a map. We don't look at a GPS. We just get in that car and drive. And it's like we hope and pray we get to New York. Well, write it down. You don't need to be Einstein to do this. You need to sit and say, hey, I have this Facebook page. I'm going to make a commitment that we're going to post once a day to our Facebook page. Then you move to your next step. Okay, what are we going to say? And what are we going to say needs to be of interest to your audience. All right? Your audience doesn't really care that you're on the way to the SEMA show. Ha-ha. Okay? Your audience will care a lot if you tell them, come by our booth from 5 to 7 for Facebook VIP fans-only deals and information, or something along that line. You get a better opportunity when you make the offer enticing. All right, so you got a content plan. You've claimed your profiles. You've got a purpose. You know what your objectives are. You better put someone in charge. One of my favorite shots, George C. Scott as Patton. You know, you better have a leader. Someone needs to be in charge of what's going on at the show. Again, I know that sounds basic, but in a lot of the exhibitors that I see at shows in our industry, it's hard to determine who's really in charge. So someone needs to be in charge of the 4 elements, don't forget. And that's how you're finding people prior to the show, how you're engaging and interacting with them at the show, what you're doing to get them to meet you at the show, and what systems and programs you have in place to nurture what you have happen at the show so they become customers. Someone needs to be responsible for that. Either designate someone or outsource it, okay? If it's done right, it's worth its weight in gold. This is the tipping point things that will help make you money. So if you can't do it yourself, find someone that can, and someone that knows all channels too, okay? There's a lot of people that operate in this industry that are very, very good at offline media that are now trying to move into online in order to survive. And some of them are very good at what they do, and some of them aren't. So I want to give you that tip. You want an agency that's well-rounded and a partnership that if you're outsourcing this, that can give you the kind of expertise you need. Now, once you get all this planning put together, you got to work the plan, baby. It just doesn't happen. You know, if you talk to a guy that owns a gym, the hard part about losing weight and being fit is not the exercise. It's getting people to show up at the gym to do it. It's getting people to work the plan. If you walk into a gym and you tell them what your goals are and what you're willing to do to achieve them, they can tell you if they're realistic, and they'll tell you how long it'll take to happen. And if you simply work the plan, they'll get you where you need to be. And that's what I want you to have faith. Make your plan and work it. Implement it so that you get things happening. Like anything else, you want to measure your impacts. That's my next advice. Measure your impacts. You know, I see this happen all the time. Companies never measure what worked, what didn't, what went well, all that kind of thing. Yet you take these same people and you put them on a track, and by God, they have the stopwatch there. They're adjusting tire pressures. They're adjusting setups. They're doing this testing. They're doing this measurement. Man, they are doing everything in the world they can to get that car to go faster. Why aren't you doing that with your trade show efforts? Why? Make it a point. By golly, you've spent a lot of time to go there. Your primary focus, the first thing you do throughout is measuring, how is this working? Am I growing my Facebook followers prior to the show? Am I engaging with the right people on LinkedIn? Am I putting out content that reaches my target audience? Are they engaging in it? Measure your impacts prior to the shows. You'll be amazed at what kind of outcomes you'll get. Guess what? The guy that knows what he's doing on the track has a much better chance of winning than the guy that doesn't. Now let me give you some specific tips for show success, some specific things. Make sure you have an online press kit. You're going to have lots of media at major auto industry shows, so you need to make it available to them in electronic formats. Okay? What kinds of things do you put on the press kit? You see there. Everything from videos, which is the multimedia information, white papers, any special event invites, background on your company, case studies. You see it there. Make sure you have this in an electronic format because that makes it very easy for media and journalists to get your information. It also, depending on what you market and who you market to, it will also provide background information that may help you close deals. You may have potential distributors, as an example, that are analyzing whether or not you're the right company to do business with. Your online press kit can be used as marketing collateral, or in this case, sales collateral, to help you close deals. QR codes. QR codes offer you an opportunity for, again, either a journalist or a visitor to use their smartphone and get multimedia information about your company. Now, there's a couple of neat things. QR codes can be made free, and you can direct people from a QR code to any online type URL. Most commonly, what that means is web pages, okay? So, what do you want to do? Well, use QR codes on your marketing collateral at the shows, your booth exhibits, literature, all sorts of stuff, and make sure that you have custom landing pages that are designed for the show that take your QR code users and give them the information they're looking for. This can be a very, very neat way for you to drive conversions, to get more people engaging with your content. Again, you're making it very easy for them when they're at the show. It's a neat little thing that you might be able to use. And go to our blog. We have a lot of free QR code generator information on it. We have a lot of information about QR codes that you'll find there on the blog. Now, engage with others, okay? You know, people are coming. They're looking for online prior to the show. You know, you might have somebody that only has 2 days to be at that show. They're coming from the East Coast. They're coming to SEMA in Vegas. They've got 2 days to be there. They only have a limited amount of time. You know as well as I do, there's only so much of that show that you're going to be able to see in 2 days. You know, education offerings, floors, booths, all this kind of thing. As you know, a lot of companies prepare their list of what they're going to do prior to coming to SEMA. They aren't looking at the daily SEMA publication to find out who to go see that day. They've already done it in advance. So what do you want to do? Offer information of value. Okay, very candidly, most of your prospects aren't going to care that you're celebrating your 100th anniversary. They're going to be happy for you. They're going to smile, but that's probably not going to get them or give them reasons to change their plan at the show to come see you. Or the fact that you've got a new product. Probably not the reason they're going to come to the show to see you. However, if you're offering them information of value, things that make their lives easier, that help them improve their profit line, that cut their expenses, if you're offering things in value and you present that the right way, you're going to find it easier to engage with others. Now, one of the easiest ways you can start to engage with others is to be active within groups on LinkedIn. There are a lot of automotive industry groups that are on LinkedIn that have conversations that take place every single day. We love them. It's a great way to learn. You can ask questions of your peers. You can get their opinions on things. You can also offer information of value. All right? Now, let me give you an example. You know, if I build a product, I'm not going to sit and say or post something on a group that says, come see my new product at SEMA Show. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to look at, I might put together a blog post that says 5 new products that improve vehicle stability and handling, or something along that line. I'm going to offer information. I'm going to publish that within the group, and I'm going to start to interact with group members. And it's like anything else. When I go to a cocktail party or I go to a Rotary Club meeting for the first time, you know, let's use Rotary Club because I have a great opportunity to meet people that can help me in a business sense, right? Well, if I go in and I talk simply about me and I talk about my products, you probably turn people off that way. But if I go in and I get involved in conversations that are happening already and I contribute to them, and then I offer some information that's of value to the group, I then start to earn the right to get business from that group or invite them to come see me at SEMA or connect up at SEMA or something along that line. So you can engage with others, and it's a phenomenal thing to do. Twitter's a neat tool. I told you we're going to be publishing a list of people that are on Twitter where you can get your top industry influencers, target markets. You can promote your events and what you're doing at SEMA. You can update attendees. Lots of neat stuff you can do. You're limited really only by your imagination. And I will encourage you to use Twitter prior to and during the show and after the show as a neat way to engage your audience, depending upon who you're marketing to. When you're going to this show, it can be absolutely phenomenal way for you to do things to help yourselves. LinkedIn, man, oh man, LinkedIn is really, really cool. LinkedIn I can ID industries and job titles. You know, if I want to find the president of Pep Boys on LinkedIn, it's easy for me to do, okay? LinkedIn allows me to promote events. I have a LinkedIn events deal. I can use LinkedIn InMail to try to reach people. Lots of neat things. LinkedIn is a great tool. We're going to be doing another webinar about LinkedIn and how outside salespeople can use LinkedIn to generate leads and nurture leads. That'll be coming up in a couple of months. But man, what a phenomenal tool for you. You can start to engage your target audience prior to these shows. LinkedIn allows you to do targeting and all sorts of neat stuff. They have both a free and a very affordable model. I think it's $49 a month or something like that that gives you a lot of extra features. Trust me, it's well worth it for those of you that are regularly involved at trade shows. Now, something new on the scene is Pinterest. And I know I can see the thought bubbles. I know that some of you are out there thinking, hey, isn't that strictly for women? Well, no, it's changing. But what Pinterest offers you right now is an opportunity to get very high search engine rankings. Okay? So if you're exhibiting at some of these shows and you tag your content that you put on Pinterest the right way, it can give you very high search engine rankings. It can give you inbound links. Okay? So you can put product images up. You can create your own graphics and put them on Pinterest. You can tag them, i.e. label them in the right way, and what that will do will give you search engine authority. And that, with other elements, really could help interested parties find you or be more involved with you. So Pinterest right now offers some neat things for search rankings. We're going to be doing some things for retailers in this industry in a couple of months about how they can use Pinterest to drive more traffic and sales, and just some neat stuff that can be done with this. For those of you going to shows, use your page to promote your involvement at the show. Tag it in the right way, and you're going to be in really good shape. It'll help you out quite a bit. Facebook, of course, wow. You know, what a neat thing you can do. Lots of different things. You can use your Facebook wall timeline to promote what's going on prior to and at the show and after the show. You can do a variety of different things. As you see there, you can read, so I'm not going to read it all for you. You can use Facebook advertising where you can target who you want to see. I can go in, and if you'd like to set up an ad, if there's a particular company that is strategically important to you that you're not selling to now, you can start to send advertising just to their executives. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on LinkedIn. Lots of different things that you can do to utilize these medias as part of your strategy, both their free and their paid options. YouTube. YouTube has an events date module. You can create videos around your show content. And the big one, man, oh man, capture the event to share the next time. Holy cow. You know, a lot of you, if trade show marketing is really important to your business and what happens at these shows are important to your business, you want to designate somebody to be shooting video at the show, and it doesn't need to be professionally shot. Man, these iPhone video cameras are good. Flip cams that are around are good. And you can get great video cameras for under $350. And you can shoot this video. You can go back to your room that night. Now, I advise you do it before you hit the bar, but Even with the drink or two, you could probably upload it and get it online to YouTube without doing yourself any damage. Now again, I advocate upload your video prior to your show drinking. Okay, that's important, but easy to do. That's my point. Very, very simple. Shoot this video content. Holy cow. If I sell, I'm a distributor of truck tops and caps and all that. If I do that, man, oh man, I'm going to go look for every neat vehicle I can find. Every single one. And I'm going to flood YouTube, and I'm going to flood Facebook, and I'm going to flood it everywhere because my audience is going to be looking for it. Okay? So utilize that, capitalize it. It's very, very inexpensive for you guys to do. And whoever is shooting the video for you is going to have a lot of fun. So don't let them give you any lip. It's a fun job. Even if they take an hour and go do it, make sure that you're shooting video and taking pictures. Now on your website, make sure you promote what you do with the show and what's going on and where you're going on and all that. Now you link to your social profiles. Make sure on your website your social profiles are listed there. Pop-ups are something that you can use, event pop-ups. Where you pop up, you go to a website. Your web programmer can program it so it only happens once for a visitor and you're not driving them nuts. But you might pop it up, invite, come see us at booth number at the SEMA show, or come see us at booth number at PRI or whatever, okay? Easy to do. Oh, I didn't want to miss it. One of the neat things that you can do that you can draw booth traffic with is to show Twitter feeds in your booth. Just to take a Twitter feed, put it on a monitor, display it. People can see real time what's happening at shows. And it is a big thing. Some of the shows that I speak at, you wouldn't believe the booth traffic that people come by and see what others are saying about the show. If you find, you go to concerts nowadays, and I'm going to date myself a little bit and tell you a little bit more than you probably care to know, but I'm a country music fan, and at the Arizona State Fair, we went and saw Trace Adkins this year, and it was amazing how much tweeting was going on that they were posting right on the screen. And if he appeals to a middle-aged audience. I'm 50 now, so I consider myself middle-aged. I took my daughter to Taylor Swift, and that younger crowd, man, holy cow, it was amazing, all the tweeting that was going on that was displayed everywhere. They had big screens everywhere. So integrate what you're doing within your booth, within your website. Create hashtags that are used, obviously, for Twitter around your content and your presence. You'll be in good shape. And now when we talk about ethical bribes, for those of you that have been on my webinars before, ethical bribes are a reason for somebody to do something. So if I tell you stop by my booth, well, that's not as effective as me saying stop by my booth from 5 to 7 p.m. for Facebook VIP only specials. Now I'm giving you a reason to stop by my booth, and that's what you want to do. Or stop by my booth and mention Facebook, and you'll receive 5 case study examples, or you'll receive free installation support for 2 months, or whatever the offer you may want to make. But that's an example of an ethical bribe. And ethical bribes are fabulous at driving booth traffic. Now, what can you do to get pre-show buzz? Well, obviously, interact with trade media and registered exhibitors. And this is one of the neat things that I think that a lot of people miss out on, is get a list of other exhibitors in the show, because many of them may be able to buy from you. You could engage and interact with them because you have the common experience of exhibiting at a show. Neat things, as I said, Twitter, blogs, LinkedIn groups. YouTube is fabulous for pre-show videos. You may do a teaser. You may be introducing a new product that you want your dealer network to come to at the show. So you may do a series of teaser videos about what you're going to be doing there. Twitter posts, Facebook posts, products, speakers, in-show events. Again, contests, incentives, and special offers can generate a lot of buzz if they're done the right way. If they're done the right way, and they need to be promoted well in advance of the show. And then another thing that is really neat for generating pre-show buzz are stories about people or products or their history that's done in a compelling way. You know, your business may have overcome a really big obstacle. Your business may have pioneered selling in a different market. That's a story about your business that's done in a compelling way that others want to learn about. So these are things that you can think about and explore to help you generate pre-show dialogue and buzz. All of this results in making this thing called a checklist. Obviously, a checklist is what you want to be looking at and what you want to be addressing prior to the show to make everything line up to come into the way that you need them to be set up, so that you have your list. Here's what I'm going to do. Here's when I'm going to do it. It's kind of like your roadmap and time plan to make things happen. Okay? Kind of simple. I am ready to answer some specific questions, and before I really get into them, I'm going to let you know we have some specific things that may help you in your trade show efforts. They're posted on our blog. We are making this presentation live. It will be on our blog at aftermarketerclub.com/blog. It will be there tomorrow, sometime on Wednesday, the 16th of May, 2012. There's some neat articles. Skyline has published one for us. We talk about everything from how to cut marketing costs while increasing sales, how to pre-schedule appointments with prospects. We even give you some travel apps that will help make your experiences a little bit better. Of course, if you need help with your trade show efforts, this is what we do for a living, and we'd be happy to offer you a free discussion to see if we could help you. If we think we can, we'll give you our ideas. We're affordable, and most importantly, we're very, very effective. So let's take any questions. I think we've answered a lot of them as we've gone through. While we're at the question stage, I'm going to give people some opportunities. I've been looking at my list as we've gone through it, and I think we've got most of them, but if you have a question, please type it into the chat window that's there. We're going to get that available to you. You'll see our contact information there, our website. You'll see my email address, as well as our toll-free number. My extension is 801. My extension is 801, so if you call our office and want to get me directly, please dial 801 at the number that you see there. I generally am running around like a madman, so I'm very good with email. If you email me and you let me know what time you want to talk, send me 2 times. I'll confirm one with you and we'll be set. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I hope that your trade show experiences in 2012 and 2013 are fabulous. As I said, I hope to get an email from you in December telling me that your trade shows this year were better than they've ever been. I'm Brian Offenberger. We do these webinars once a month. Next month, I'm going to be really peeling back the curtain. I'm going to be showing you what you can do out of your websites to get more leads and sales. It's called conversion optimization, and I'm going to be giving you some of my best tips to help you make that happen. We also, in the 3rd and 4th quarters of this year, we finalized our webinar schedule. We have some phenomenal material that really will make a bottom line difference. We're very grateful for your attention. We appreciate you coming to these webinars. Feel free to tell your friends to attend. And as always, if there's anything we can do to help you, please let us know. With that, I'm going to urge you to stay thirsty, go make some money, have a great day, and thank you for your time. Bye now.